Once in Exeter, thousands were waiting to meet Michael as he arrived at the football ground with Uri, Mark and David Blaine. It was a special moment for one disabled young fan.
I ran through the whole crowd, jumped under the bodyguard's legs and jumped in Michael Jackson's arms and held him so tight, it was unbelievable. And he walked around for a bit and then tapped me on the head and said, "I love you." And then it was just like the most memorable thing I ever done in my life.
It helped him enormously. It helped with your self-esteem, didn't it? It helped with just feeling good about himself, because when you are disabled, and certainly he wasn't walking very well, it was a huge thing for you to do, wasn't it? To make that
definitely.
Running across that pitch. And of course then we got to know Uri, who's been in his life ever since.
Back in the stadium, Michael met other local children. One of them was Lauren Setherton, who at the time was suffering from cancer.
Right in front of me was Michael Jackson, and I was just stunned. I put my hands like this. I had tears in my eyes, and I was shaking. I was like, "Mum," like Michael Jackson stood right in front of me, and it was just surreal. To be honest, he looked like a waxwork doll. He did not look real. He was so pale, and his eyeliner tattooed on, and bright red lips. And I remember just thinking, "Oh, he just doesn't look real." And when I was talking to him, I just couldn't help but look obviously at his nose. I couldn't stop staring, and I was trying my hardest not to, because when you're talking to somebody and you're staring at one thing. But like my mum said too, that you just can't help it, because you're just thinking it's so tiny, and all the way that it's changed, and it's so tiny, you think, how can he possibly breathe through that little nose, There was one thing in particular that he did. He had a big bowl of M&Ms, so he had thousands of packets in this massive bowl, and I can't remember what colour it was, but there was definitely one colour had to be taken out, which we found really odd, because he said, "No, I don't want any of that colour."
Today, Lauren is in good health. The memories of Michael's visit are still etched on her mind.
There we go. Let's go. Cool.
When Michael talked to me about my illness and my cancer and treatment and being really positive, he made me feel so good. I went away feeling extra positive and felt really good that somebody that famous could even talk to me and talk that nicely and say how positive things. It just made me feel great, really.
Another day has gone. I'm still all alone.
Back in London, Michael had one last appointment in his diary before flying back to the States, a shopping trip to Harrods.
He wanted to see the memorial that Mohammed created for Diana and Dodi. So we went down the escalator, and he stood there, and there was silence, and he was so sad. Michael loved Diana, and he was a good friend of Dodi. And I think it was the first time that he saw this memorial. It was a very touching moment. I looked into his face, and he just stood there, and Mohammed was also very, very sad. I had long conversations with Michael about Diana. He just was in love with her. No doubt. He was in love with Diana. This is the memorial, as you can see. You must understand Mohammed, very sad, crying, and then we moved away into the clothing section. Michael liked this shirt, so he took it off the mannequin, and Mohammed gave him the shirt.
Look, Turco.
And I don't know why I bent a spoon for Michael here. Somebody wanted me to bend a spoon.
That's music.
This is in the antique section of Harrods, and there was this weird, bizarre antique reading chair. Michael sat in it. In the music section, the DVD and CD section, I discovered a box with 100 most renowned and famous pianists, and I noticed that one of my closest friends, Byron Janis, who lives in New York, his name was on the box, so his CD was in there. So I called Byron, and I said, "Byron, here is Michael, talk to him."
Hi, Byron.
Hi, Michael, how you doing?
How are you doing? We're sitting here looking at it's a really incredible box. It's huge. And he says it's a great honor to have you in here. It's amazing. It's a huge thing. It really is. It's like a big...
They got a lot of parents in 100 years, I guess.
Yeah, it's a great honor to you. It's amazing.
But look, Michael takes his time. This is the miracle of Michael Jackson. He had time for everyone, no matter who, what position, who they were. He just pleased everyone. He didn't have to, but he did.
Michael's visit to London had been a triumph, but his friendship with Uri was about to be rocked to its foundations. Uri had been asked by journalist Martin Bashir to introduce him to Michael. The documentary that followed would create headlines around the world. In 2002, Uri Geller and Michael Jackson were firm friends. Michael had visited Uri twice. He'd even been best man when Uri renewed his wedding vows. But 3 years earlier, during one of their first meetings, Uri had wanted to put his mind at rest about child abuse allegations made against Michael.
In the last half hour, Michael Jackson's lawyers have agreed a huge cash settlement with the boy who says the singer abused him.
In 1993, Michael had been accused of molesting a 13-year-old boy, Geordie Chandler. And as Uri prepared to embark on a friendship with Michael, he found an opportunity to ask him about those allegations.
He said to me suddenly, this mind power that you have, Uri Geller, can you send it to me? Can I feel it? And also, there's some food I eat and I don't want to eat junk food. Can you make me not eat it? And then I said to him, look, Michael, I used to be a hypnotist in Israel before I became famous for my spoon bending. Will you allow me to hypnotize you? And he said, wow, yes, can you really hypnotize? There was that streak of suspicion in me. I had to get rid of that, and that's why I suddenly confronted him under hypnosis. I asked him, Michael, did you ever touch a child in an inappropriate manner? And Michael answered immediately, no, I would never do that. And then I asked him, well, why did you pay off Geordie Chandler? He said to me immediately, I had enough. I couldn't take it anymore. You know, I brought him out of the trance. He never knew this. To me, this was a private validation that this poor man is innocent.